Wisdom is applied sciences, so you know what time it is. It's time for this topic about frequency. And why it's so important to mind your frequency. Why it's so important to pay attention to your vibrations. Now, real quick before I continue, I'll just get a few numbers out of the way, okay? Now, let's put some context to these numbers first, okay? When I talk about frequency, I'm talking about the level of vibration in your body. Now, your body is comprised of atoms. These atoms possess energy. And this energy is kinetic. It moves. These movements are what we call vibration. Every cell in your body is moving. It's vibrating. There is a certain level of electric energy coursing through each and every cell of your body. The measurement of this electric energy, the level of this energy, this vibration, is quantified as a frequency, megahertz. Okay? Now let's get into the numbers. The healthy human body operates around a 62 to 78 megahertz. Disease begins at 55 megahertz, and death happens at 25 megahertz. Okay? Now, you can vibrate higher, you can raise your frequency, and this will carry over in a positive way to everything in your life. Now, for example, the brain of a genius operates in between 78 and 82 megahertz. So raising your vibrations, raising your frequency within your body can actually create a situation in your body where you operate at a higher intelligence level. Okay? And an example of this would be how neurons work. Okay? Neurons, they reach out and make connections and they send signals. Okay? This is called a network. This is how your nervous system operates. This is how your brain operates. It's just neurons firing, sending signals, and they make these connections and they communicate with each other. And this drives your personality, this drives your decisions, this drives your understanding, this drives your emotional health, this drives your physical responses to what you eat, to what you think, to how you train. Everything in your body, all the processes are based on these neurons firing, are based on your frequency, it's based on your vibration. So we got to talk about energy, okay? This frequency, how to keep this up. Now, like those neurons, as they fire, as they send signals, they get better at firing, they get better at sending these signals, they get better at making connections. Because with every attempt to connect, to send a message, they become better, they make more connections. Us as human beings, we are like those neurons. That with more exposure, with more attempts to connect, we become better at connecting, we become better communicators. Every time I do one of these videos and every time you watch one of my videos, you understand me more, you get my message more. And then you connect with me eventually. You become a part of my network. I become a part of your network. We join together. You tell other people about my channel. You are firing towards them. I'm firing towards you. I'm firing towards other people. We're all neurons connecting together over this medium we call the internet. Your body operates the same way. Your brain operates the same way. This is why when you train in the gym or you read a book, anything, your ability to comprehend, your ability to prove is based on how well you're firing. How consistent are you firing? And at what frequency are you firing? What vibration are you at when you're firing these neurons? Now, throughout life, there are things that raise our vibrations, that raise our frequency, and there are things that lower it. So for example, when you eat horrible food, it lowers your vibration. And if you eat enough horrible food, it'll lower your vibration to that point that 55 megahertz where disease begins to occur. And things just kind of roll downhill when you continue to make that choice to engage in behaviors that lower your vibration, that lower your frequency. But then there are things that raise your frequency, right? That raise these vibrations, like eating mango, eating alkaline foods, training in the gym, dropping body fat, listening to high vibration music, right? Listening to meditation music, right? Ambient meditation music that operates on like a 432 frequency. You might want to go on YouTube and type in 432 hertz. You see what comes up, and then you'll know what I mean, right? The perfect ambient music to meditate to, right? Meditation, practicing mindfulness, practicing stillness, going out in nature and sitting right by the ocean, breathing in that salt air, those negative ions, right? That fresh oxygen. Sitting in nature, sitting in the woods, right? In peace and silence. All these things raise your vibrations. All these things raise your frequency, give you mental clarity. Essentially, mental clarity is a byproduct of raising your frequency. It's all a part of it. Now, typically I'll make this video and I'll talk to you about these things, and here's what'll happen. You may take some of the suggestions that I give you. You may listen to that meditation music. You may meditate a couple times a week. Maybe you'll do it every day after you watch this video. You'll do it for maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks. You'll eat more alkaline foods. You'll eat more mango. You'll eat more fruit in general. You'll drink more water. You'll exercise more. You'll walk more. You'll sit in nature more if the weather permits. You'll cut off the toxic energy vampires in your life. You know those people who try to tell you who you are, the people who tell you you'll never succeed, the people who blame you for all the negative stuff in their life. You may take my advice and cut those people off. You may engage more consistently in self-love. You might. And you'll feel the difference. You'll think clearer. You'll be more intelligent. You'll make better decisions. You'll look better in the mirror. Your skin will clear up. You'll drop body fat. You'll be stronger in the gym. You'll feel great. Your mental health will improve. Those neurons will be firing. This is self-development, y'all. This is mindset coaching on the spot, y'all. This is how it works. This is lifestyle development. But here's the thing about those neurons. Here's the thing about you as that neuron that's firing and making those connections. If you stop those behaviors, if you stop firing, maybe let's say you stop firing for a week, maybe a month, you just fall off for some reason. Maybe you revert back to old habits. You know what happens to those neurons? They stop connecting. And the connections that you made, they start to recede. Right? This is why when you learn something or you're in the process of, let's say, learning a new language, the more you speak that language, the better you get at it. It becomes second nature. But if you have a prolonged lapse in your practice, you start to forget words here and there. That language starts to break down. You start to forget things. Recalling that information that you learned, it starts to take a little longer. Because the connection between those neurons, they start to separate and go their own way. It's like how if I don't do these videos consistently enough, you forget about my channel. You forget about my message. Because there's other stuff in your face that's firing. Right? The negativity, maybe the drinking at the bar, right? Things like that. Silliness on Facebook. Goofy memes and videos, whatever the case may be. But there will be other things that are firing, trying to make those connections with you. Some of those things may be low vibration, low frequency, and you may accidentally connect with those things. If you make those new connections with those things that are killing you, you lose me, you lose the message. You lose this network that we're building here, this network of high frequency. Things switch off. Just like that. And you look back and be like, man, I was doing so well. Damn it. A lot of people been through this, right? Man, I was doing well in the gym. I don't know what happened. I just fell off. You'd be surprised how quick it happens. This is why you got to practice mindfulness. So the moral of the story, right? I want you to remember this. The firing of those neurons, the frequency, it has to be consistent. Those connections, it has to be consistent. You got to do it constantly. You got to be very self-aware, not to fall into those old pitfalls. Remember the numbers 4, 3, 2. Okay? Remember the vibrations that you need to stay away from, the low vibrations of 55 and of course 25 megahertz. Pay attention to what you eat. Think about what you think about. Do it every day. Remind yourself of who you are. Remind yourself of your path, of your journey. Remind yourself of the commitments that you made. Remind yourself of why your frequency is so important, why your vibration is so important, why you need to keep it elevated. Remind yourself that you are the neuron that needs to make those solid connections. You need to fire consistently. You need to make the right connections. Make a reminder every day. I can't stress this enough. Watch this video more than one time. I'm telling you. Listen to it in the background. When you do cardio in the gym, listen to my voice. Listen to what I'm saying. When you're at home, put on that meditation music. You can go right to YouTube. Put on a track that's like an hour and a half long. Put on ambient sound effects of waterfalls and birds chirping and leaves from trees billowing in the wind. I'm telling you, the crackling of a campfire. When the weather permits, go outside and sit fireside. Gaze into the fire at night. Clear your mind. Remind yourself of who you are, what your vision is, right? The body you want to manifest, the mind and the wealth that you want to generate, that you want to manifest. Remind yourself to cultivate the mindset of abundance. Because every time you remind yourself of those good things that you're excited about, those good things that make you feel excited and make you feel good and that motivate you, that inspire you, think about those things. Remind yourself of those things as you settle down in a high frequency environment. Because every time you set this reminder, every time you engage in this kind of behavior, you get healthier, you get smarter, you get stronger, you get better, you get happier, you heal emotionally. I'm telling you this works. I'm living proof of this. You become a better communicator. You develop influence in your ability to connect with others. I used to struggle socially. Looking at me on camera, you may have never guessed. I was socially awkward, right? But the practice, the reminders, the constant behavior, the constant elevating of the frequency, kicking that brain into high gear, the fasting, the vegan lifestyle, all of it, it's all encompassing. You engage in all of these types of behaviors, and I'm telling you right now, you do it long enough, next year, you'll look back at your old self and be like, I can't believe I was like that. You'll look at your old clothes that no longer fit. You'll look at your old pictures. You'll feel your skin and you'll be like, wow, it's like day and night. This frequency stuff is real. I got to tell somebody, right? So that's the message. Keep firing high.